Yeah, that's right. The Kansas City Chiefs re-signed Kareem Hunt to a one-year deal. Breaking news team, Tucker Franklin with you. Let's talk about it. There's no I in team, but there is a me, and there also is Nate Taylor joining me on the breaking news team for Kareem Hunt,
Hey,
returning to the Kansas City Chiefs on a one-year deal. Nate, how are you doing? How are things?
I am excellent. I just, as you know, talked to Maddie Lane and I said, hey, um, do something during normal business hours. So congrats to the Chiefs. They've done something
On
during
a
normal
Friday,
business hour
but we
on a
will let it
Friday.
slide. I do
Yeah.
love you guys did just record 21 questions with Maddie Lane. That podcast will be out on Sunday. You guys can catch that on the KCSN.com. That will go out there, that video as well, straight to your inbox, and that obviously in the audio feed as well. But yeah, those are always the dangers, right, of recording those weekend shows a little bit earlier, something like this happening. But according to Jordan Schultz, we have the Chiefs re-signing Kareem Hunt to a one-year deal up to $2.5 million with a $1.5 million base. Look, when you start to look at the Chiefs running back room, you had to think that things were going to be moving in the direction they were going to have to add some people. As you
Yep.
mentioned, you and Maddie in 21 Questions talk about some running backs they like. But here's the thing, I don't know if this precludes them from taking a running back. I do think they needed to have running backs into that room as they get into kind
Yes.
of closer to the draft and into the preseason.
Yeah. And this is something that we had discussed on Only Weird Games, I believe, on Tuesday, maybe,
Mhm.
where I don't think this thrilled Seth Kaiser. I don't know if this thrilled Joshua Briscoe, but
You can
I
tell
said,
because they're not here.
but I told them and the audience, if you listen, that it would be nice if the Chiefs had 4 running backs for training camp, right?
Mm-hmm.
The plan is coming together, ladies and gentlemen. Isaiah Pacheco is your projected starter.
Yep.
You do have Kareem Hunt, who obviously had a masterful season.
Mm-hmm.
Spelling Isaiah Pacheco back in September, coming off the couch. They've already signed Elijah Mitchell, who projects, at least as of right now, to be your veteran third down back with some change of pace juice. He missed all of last season with the hamstring injury, but again, he'll have the entire offseason program to learn the playbook. He'll have mandatory minicamp and training camp to get in football shape. And so I'm sure you could ask, well, Nate, who's the 4th running back if you need 4 running backs for training camp?
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, we need to start grinding through the tape of yours truly, who is, as Seth will call it, who is your draft crush for the running back position, this time in 5 to 6 weeks. I know I've gotten some questions on Twitter already. Somebody said, hey, this is fine, but it better not stop them from taking a running back in the draft. It won't. It won't, ladies and gentlemen. So, in a perfect world, all 4 of these running backs will be functional. Maybe you bring the rookie along slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, as Josh said on Only Weird Games, yes, ladies and gentlemen, as of right now, Carson Steele is still on the team. We have no reason to believe he will not be on the team. You can carry 5 backs, between fullback and running back.
Yeah.
That may shrink your tight ends or your receivers, but it can happen.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what Kareem Hunt wanted.
Yeah.
I think I wrote it in the Athletic a while ago that, hey, these are just the plausible guys that could return on like that bottom, that second tier and below in terms of free agent class. So now we've gotten, now that we know Nick Bolton and Trey Smith are coming back, those are your big guys. The second tier guys were Hollywood Brown, Kareem Hunt, and maybe Charles Omenihu, if things go a certain direction. But yeah, this is what both parties wanted, and it's good for Kareem to do this deal now because of what he went through last offseason when no one invited him to be a training camp invitee, or hey, are you going to invest in me throughout the course of the whole offseason so that I can be prepared to go for the regular season? He had I can't remember. Do you remember what injury he had in his last days with the Cleveland Browns, Tucker? I'll have to look that up.
Let me look it up real quick.
Okay. I think it might have been I don't know if it was a sports hernia.
That sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, that's what I remember. But again, I'm not totally sure. Again, Tucker will get us that quickly here. But, he had surgery after the 2023 season, and he had plenty of time to recover, but no team invited him for what most guys do. And I always remember Jarrett McKinnon doing this. It's like, yeah, I'll find a team. I know I'm good. I can play in the league. Yeah. I'm not worried about these rookies. But, when it gets to June and you're going to do mandatory minicamp, it'd be nice to be on a team and at least see the playbook before right. Training camp starts in a month, right?
Yeah.
And it was a little surprising that no team offered that to Kareem Hunt, even though he was only 29 at the time. He'll be going into his 30th season next year with the Chiefs. So, look, he did workouts on his own with his, former high school track coach. Mm-hmm. He did a pretty great job in terms of conditioning, and I think the chance of redemption and obviously coming back to the Chiefs, something neither party thought was going to happen, played a massive role in him making the most of this unforeseen second opportunity, and because of the success he had, particularly in the playoffs before the Super Bowl, because we don't need to talk about that. It was pretty clear that I gathered at the combine that unless some team was going to blow him away from an offer standpoint, based on the exit interviews and some of the conversations I had in Indianapolis, this seemed like a very logical decision. And it's great for Kareem now because he knows he doesn't have to worry about the musical chairs of what happens post draft. But again, this also doesn't preclude the Chiefs from taking a rookie and that rookie learning from someone like Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco, and even, to a degree, Elijah Mitchell, even though this will be his first time in the offense.
That's a great point to point out. I mean, look, it's a deal that's a 1 year, $1.5 million deal plus incentives. I can believe it gets up to 2.5 when it comes up to incentives and everything like that. But it's a deal where a running back room that needed bodies. When Matt Verderame and I were doing our free agency primer, we went position by position. Like, okay, who's on the roster right now? And you're like, Keontae Ingram, Carson Steele, and Isaiah Pacheco are your running backs right now. So at least adding Elijah Mitchell and Kareem Hunt, by the way, was a sports hernia injury. Thanks to the chat for confirming that. I looked it up. Look at that poll. Great poll by you, by the way.
Thank you.
On the sports hernia injury. But you add Kareem Hunt, who in a role I think is a lot better than having to rely on him to be your premier back.
Yes.
I think that's probably what Kareem Hunt is like. Hey, I'm not gonna have to run the ball 30 times a game, right? Like you guys are gonna make sure I don't have to do that, right? So I think that, and Kareem Hunt in a role of, all right, let's get you a few carries here and there. When he gets on the field, he makes maximum impact. That's the idea behind Kareem Hunt and bringing Kareem Hunt back to there. I also like what you said, kind of about him and his just ability to help coach up and help a younger guy over there in the running back room as well. I think that makes a ton of sense from that perspective.
Yeah. And, he's been through a lot, as we all know. We don't need to go through the entire backstory, but
right.
It's so funny you mentioned 30 carries because I had to look it up. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe this is on this day of November 4th last season against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in primetime. Kareem Hunt had 27 carries in an overtime game for 106 yards. He did have a touchdown. His longest game was 15 yards, which was saying something back then. He cannot do that next season.
No.
He cannot have 27 carries in an overtime game.
He was gassed in the Super Bowl. Like, you could tell, like, he barely got there. He didn't play the full season, I'll say in air quotes, but like his body was running out of gas.
Yeah.
And I understand, I get it, but like him in a role, I think is a really good signing as proposed to your lead back.
Yes. So let's spitball here, okay? If we think Elijah Mitchell, at least as of right now, is a speed option out of the backfield. You could use him on screens. We'll see how good of a pass protector he is in that Jerick McKinnon, Samaje Perine role. Okay, fine. He's a veteran. You have Pacheco as your lead back. Hopefully he returns to form that we saw in 2022 and 2023.
Yeah.
And then so you say, okay, well, what's Kareem's role going to be? Well, he's not going to play on special teams. But I get the sense that, hey, you can use him in short yardage. You can use him in red zone. We'll see if he has a little bit more juice because, again, to your point, Tucker, he won't be carrying the ball 27 times. So maybe you can use him on a play action screen, which was what he was great at early in his career with the Chiefs. And look, he still has good hands, so it's not like you can't throw him a ball in the flats and, not think he can get you maybe 4 or 5 additional yards if he makes the first defender miss or he runs over that first defender on the perimeter. So this makes sense. And again, hey, what if Pacheco's down for a couple weeks? Okay, we can split the carries. At least as of now, we can split the carries with guys who have done it before in the NFL with Elijah and Kareem. And then again, based on where we are in the season, all right, well, now you can have that rookie that maybe you took in the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th round. Maybe you can sprinkle them in the mix as well, get them some experience, and see if they're able to, show some potential, show some growth that obviously you saw in the pre-draft process.
Yeah.
This, I want to remind Kansas City Chiefs fans right now, this running back room is better than at any point in last year's offseason. Any point in last year's offseason, this is better. They did not have Samaje Perine until after cutdown day.
That's true.
They didn't have Kareem Hunt. They didn't have a Kareem Hunt until week 4. They had, one of the best storylines of training camp, ladies and gentlemen, was a man who had a pet crocodile.
Oh, you're forgetting about Luis Rees-Salmon also coming in.
I don't want to say his name. You did it. I didn't want to look. My heart still hurts. Okay, we had a great summer fling. I hope he's doing well. I wrote thousands of words, Tucker, on Luis Rees-Salmon, and you know what? Sometimes it doesn't work out.
All for naught. All for naught. We're probably not going too long on this breaking news team, right? I already saw some people in the chat right when we started were like, "Why are you guys going live for this? This is not breaking news team worthy." I get it. I understand.
It's a Friday. Are you working?
Come on. It's
fine.
There's also not a lot of love for Isaiah Pacheco in the chat, and this Paul DeSantis says, "Is there any chance they part ways with Pacheco?"
No. Are you no? Okay. All right.
Go ahead.
This is what we should talk about, Tucker.
Yep.
Man, I know the NFL literally means not for long, but I think people's memories are also getting shorter because, guys, he was excellent in the 2023 postseason.
Yeah.
Excellent. People get hurt. Guys get hurt. Like, it's just, he can't, give him all the credit and admiration he deserves. He came back. He gave them some reasonable snaps, but he was not going to be 100%. I think the team knew that going into his return. It was just a matter of, can he return? Can he give us something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think people's memories are just really short. Guys, he replaced Clyde Edwards-Helaire by October as a rookie. I don't know if that's going to happen this season, right, with whoever the next rookie running back is going to be. Look, could Isaiah Pacheco's vision be better? Yes. Could he have a little bit more patience and then burst when the blocks are set up? Sure. Does he still the question for me is, will he still have the ability to run the ball with as much tenacity as he did those first 2 seasons? Which, I mean, buddy, you're taking a pounding. You know, he got caught in an awkward position against the Bengals, which is what led to the fractured fibula. But look, guys, like, he deserves the benefit of the doubt that if he has, if he's fully healthy next year, then like fine, like he can be the player he was in 2023, which, by the way, was close to 1,000 rushing yards. Here's a question for the chat. Does anybody know the last time a running back had over 1,000 rushing yards for the Kansas City Chiefs?
Wow.
It's gonna stun you.
That's a really good question, because I know last year they didn't have a 1,000-yard pass catcher or
or runner.
Rusher.
Yes.
Man, it would have to be. Well, did Clyde ever get 1,000? I don't think Clyde ever got 1,000.
He got over 100. He got over 1,100 yards his rookie season, but that was all-purpose yards.
Oh, those all-purpose yards.
Yeah. So no.
Oh my gosh, is it gonna be Damian Williams?
No, he didn't get the full role until like October, November that year.
Yeah, that's true. Oh no.
At no point, ladies and gentlemen, I was just gonna double check this one more time, but I believe at no point in the Patrick Mahomes era has he ever had a 1,000-yard runner, because it was Kareem Hunt when he led the league in rushing in 2017.
Shout out the chat. The chat was on it. Seamus got it. Steven Silver, Splatical 2017, Paul DeSantis, Anita. T. Smith said Jamal, and that's where my brain went first. I was like, God damn it. Was it Jamal?
Jamal Charles. Now Pacheco had, this is not his fault. This is Andy Reid and Matt Nagy to a degree. He only had 205 carries, which is low, in 2023, and he had 935 yards. Now, part of that is the way the regular season ended. Obviously, he didn't play in the week 18 game against the Chargers, but he was as close to 1,000-yard runner as you could have in the Mahomes era.
That is
think about what your quarterback has done. Darrell Williams led the team in rushing with 558 yards in 2021.
Wow.
Looking through it right now. Clyde as a rookie had 803. Very good rookie season. He got hurt late in the year, so again, didn't really have a chance to add on. He only had 181 carries in 13 games. 2019, that was Damian Williams, again, coming on late. Because remember, they started the year with LaShawn McCoy, and then his body literally met the cliff at Thanksgiving. And then Eric Bieniemy yanked him. Kareem Hunt, before being released, was going to have 1,000 yards, since he had 824 in 11 games. And 2017 led the league in rushing. Guys, Patrick Mahomes has never, ever had a 1,000-yard runner. They're probably going to have him this season.
I was about to say, probably not going to happen this year. Unless they draft one pretty early. The North Carolina, you guys were talking on 21 Question of Marion Hampton's a fun one, but I don't know. I think they've got other pressing needs than running back. Yeah. But I don't think that this move should preclude them from taking a running back in the draft. No. They're still going to need one. It'll be interesting to see how they do it with because Carson Steele, I guess, is still on the roster. You talked about Carson Steele a little bit. Keontae Ingram as well, also rostered players currently as we head into the NFL draft. But Nate, we've gone for about 20 minutes here. We'll give the people a little bit longer. Just some final thoughts on this move here, as Kareem Hunt is going to come back and be a Kansas City Chief here on this wonderful midday on a Friday.
Yeah, this is all the news we need. We don't need any more news. They began their third wave of free agency before some teams. I do have a little nugget. I think we talked about this a little bit, Tucker. The Chiefs sniffed around Cooper Kupp, and then they were told, "I'm sorry, what's the price?" I'm sorry, you want double-digit millions of dollars? No, thank you, sir. We will wish you well. But I know some fans always ask, like, did they reach out? Did they call? Like, yes, like they would love to have Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp is asking for 15 million, guys, in this economy. Are you out of your mind?
Inflation has gotten out of hand. I mean, frankly,
out of hand. Now, the Chiefs could always make it work, but if you do that, then you might not get a chance of re-signing Charles Omenihu. You might not get a chance of, maybe signing somebody else. And then the second thing, I said this earlier, I said this on the podcast, like they probably should call Charles Omenihu back and come to a compromise, settle their differences. I think Charles, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, Tucker. Has anybody gotten a multi-year deal not named Cooper Kupp or not named,
since the league opened, is what you're saying?
Yeah, since like Wednesday. I don't know if I don't know if anybody. Yeah, so again, we're kind of in that. Hey, man, make it work.
Want to play this year?
You want to? It kind of goes like that. Like, hey, the system. Yeah. The coaching staff loves you. Chris, obviously, I've said this before. Chris Jones wants you back. The question is, how many incentives can you put in that are reachable or that you feel like can make it respectable,
right,
for someone who's trying to reset their market. I think teams have told Charles that they would like to see him play a full year, which is reasonable because he has not been able to do that. Yep. So, hey, can you give him? Again, I'm spitballing, guys. I don't know the real numbers just yet. Like, could you give him 11, 12 million? That, when we say up to
12,
up to 12, up to 11. Again, something similar to like what Hollywood Brown, has re-signed for. Although that was easy because it was like, can we just give you the same deal we gave you last year, please, please, please?
Yeah,
cool. Yeah. What else is there? Obviously, I think Gardner Minshew's the backup, even though
they signed Zappy today. Earlier.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. We didn't go live for either Gardner Minshew or Bailey Zappy getting signed.
I mean, Bailey. Hey, can Bailey Zappy make the third quarter of the first preseason game worth it? Sure. Again, Bailey was with the team last year, so again, he knows the playbook. Yeah. Hey, do you think you can beat Gardner Minshew? I guess. So people have asked about Juan Thornhill. I see it in the chat as well.
Yep.
I would call Willie Gay before I called Juan Thornhill. Either one makes sense. Again, what does the 1-year deal look like? Are you comfortable not being a starter? Because
yeah.
Does Juan Thornhill probably still wants to be a starter, and I totally understand that. That's a negotiation that, again, I haven't totally looked into, but again, could make sense next week, something like that. What about Kadarius Toney? Bring him home.
Right. Bring him to his home, tape him to his couch. Don't let him leave. That's what you need to do with Kadarius Toney. Don't let him out of the house. Take him to his home. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I haven't talked to anybody in the league about Kadarius Toney in a long time, guys.
Look,
long time.
I think that last game he played for the Browns might just be his last.
Might have done it. Might
have been the nail in the. If the Browns were like, "Oh, I don't know about this," that means not great. Not great.
Oh man!
I saw some. Before we totally get out of here, Anita asked Juju next, right, Nate? Juju coming soon?
I mean, sure. I mean, come on, has to.
Mike
yes. You can do, like, guys, do them on Monday, okay? Do all of them on Monday. Which obviously means somebody signed it on or agreeing to a deal on Sunday or whatever, and they'll come in and sign it on like Monday or Tuesday. I think, I've said this before. Juju Smith-Schuster makes a ton of sense for the Chiefs. He's, I think it always surprises me, which I don't know, maybe it surprises our audience as well. Does anybody know Juju Smith-Schuster's real age? Because I don't believe it anytime I click on it.
I know he's like a lot younger than because he came into the league when he was pretty young, and like he seems like he's just been around forever. But he's just like not actually that old. Is he 28 or something like that?
Yes, he's 28. He'll be 29 in November.
Insane pull by
insane. But look, he's again. Also, if you sign Juju Smith-Schuster, doesn't preclude you from the idea of you maybe signing someone who's, I don't know, 6'2" or taller selecting someone 6'2" or taller in the draft. But for the majority of this season, he was their biggest receiver based on like size. So yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Mike Pennell, hey man, take as much time as you want. But I don't see why that would be a major issue either.
I don't know if the Chiefs are going to get into a bidding war for Mike Pennell. No offense, I love Big Mike. Big Mike, but like I just think that he is more beneficial to Kansas City than he is anywhere else. Like he is his services will be put to the use better than anywhere else in the National Football League. Kind of like Nick Bolton.
Yes, right. Someone asked me about Von Miller, and we cannot, guys. We can't. I saw the clip on the internet. I love Derek Thomas too. You know what they not gonna do? Call me the rest of the passer, okay? They're not gonna do that. No, you cannot. I think Von Miller has reached the life of, hey, so-and-so got hurt. Want to come to camp? He might be in that territory.
Yeah.
So again, I wouldn't do it. I haven't heard Von Miller's name. It was really cool for the Chiefs to be like, it'll be great. And again, had they done this would have maybe changed some things with the Juju news or the Juju possibility, I should say. But hey, it'd be nice if we give Cooper Kupp a call. Yeah, give him a call. I'm sorry, how much? What? Sir.
Super chat here on the Breaking News Team. Thank you to Dub Freak Freer.
Yes, thank you.
I'm happy Kareem is back, but man, if they neglect running back in the draft again and just pick up some undrafted guy, also please get Smith done. Also, thanks. I love the double also. The double also is incredible.
But he's right. I mean, he's totally right.
As a guy who also uses also a good amount when they talk, also is also funny. Thanks for the content and coverage. Appreciate you, Dub Freak Freer.
Yes, thank you.
That's great. I guess let's end with this, Nate.
Okay.
Trey Smith contract. Is it going to get done before the summer solstice?
I mean, okay, guys, you're seeing my reaction in real time. Which is on the internet, which means it'll be on forever. They are confident.
Okay.
It does not have to be done today. It does not have to be done tomorrow. It does not have to be done in April. It doesn't have to be done in May. They'll keep hammering away at it. Again, what I didn't anticipate, and I know Matty Lane put up Chris Jones's contract, which is noteworthy. Because they dipped into both Patrick and Chris's contract to create even more cap space than maybe we all anticipated.
Yeah.
To be able to retain Trey Smith at a franchise tag number of $23.4 million.
Right.
The problem is, once you do that, and this is the same thing that the Bengals are going to go through, we're starting from there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you see how it works, and now I'm talking from the team's perspective. Well, you see how that works. That would be unprecedented for your position, because the right tackle right now, the highest right tackle right now makes 20.5. That's Chris Lindstrom from the Falcons.
Yes.
And yes, he's slightly older than you. You're going to be 26. He'll be 28. We get it. Robert Hunt makes $20 million for the Panthers. He's 29. That would be unprecedented. This is the same thing that kind of happened with Chris Jones, where it's like, it'd be nice if I was the highest paid player. I don't care about Aaron Donald's contract or how crazy it was compared to everybody else at his position. So I understand from representing the player, we're starting at 23.4, which basically means we're starting at 23.5. Let us know when you guys are ready. And the Chiefs being like, whoa, what about like 22 or, okay, fine. Let's look at both right and left tackle, or excuse me, right and left guard. Okay. Hunter Dickinson, he makes 21 million. What if we gave you a full million more? Let's split it. Let's split the difference to say 22. Hello? You still there? So that's I'm trying to be as simple as possible to make you understand why it might not be done just yet. I think it'll get done. But there's some posturing, there's some leveraging, there's some discussions. Hey, we don't have to talk about it right now because you have cap space, and my client doesn't have to do anything because he signed the franchise tag. My client don't have to do anything till technically July. Now, what'll be tricky, and I would advise him not to do it, but I understand why you could be advised to do this. If Trey Smith don't show up the first day of volunteer OTAs, ooh, buddy. So on behalf of both of y'all better make this work in the next month.
I can't do it again, Nate. I can't.
No, I know. Yes, Jackie Moon. I think it'll get done. I don't see why it wouldn't get done, but it could get a little.
But they can wait. That's the thing. Is that like with him signing the tag, and they're under the cap. They are cap compliant.
Yes.
So now that the league years happen, they can be cap compliant, and then they can just throw 7 void years on top of Kareem Hunt's 1-year deal. I think that's gonna do it for this breaking news team show.
So perfect.
That's gonna do it.
Hey, how much more cap relief will we get if we had an 8th void year to it? 40 grand? We got to do it. I mean, we get 40 grand more in cap space. Have to add a 9th void year. I don't care.
Kareem Hunt is staying with the Kansas City Chiefs. He'll be a running back on this team next year. I'm Tucker Franklin. That's Nate Taylor. We'll talk to you guys later.